Exponent laws, zero and negative exponents. So the zero exponent rule states that any base except for 0 with an exponent of 0 is equal to 1. The property is that x to the power of 0 is equal to 1 when x does not equal 0. Here are some examples. 38 to the power of 0 equals 1. Negative 999 in brackets to the power of 0 is equal to 1. The negative exponent rule states that when a power has a negative exponent, you take the reciprocal of the base and make the exponent positive, which means you flip the base. The numerator and the denominator switch places. If you have a base that is just a number, for example, just an x to the power of negative a, the x can also be represented as a fraction, which would then become x over 1. So you still follow the same rule where you switch the places. From here, it's easier to see that the x over 1 to the power of negative a. So here's the property. So when you have a number, a base, that is an integer to the exponent of a negative, or a negative exponent, it is 1 over x to the power of the positive exponent. Also, notice that if it's 1 over x to the power of a negative exponent, the denominator here becomes the numerator, and the exponent is now positive. Let's look at example 1. 3 to the power of negative 2. It's as if it's over an imaginary 1, so you switch places, the 3 and the 1. It now becomes 1 over 3 to the power of 2, the positive exponent that was previously a negative exponent, which is equal to 1 over 9. Example 2. So now we have the numerator is 1, and the negative exponent is in the denominator, the base, the 2. Therefore, we flip it to the numerator, so 2 to the power of 3 over 1. Imaginary 1, we don't have to rewrite that. Therefore, it equals 2 to the power of 3 is 8. So when the base is a fraction, you essentially do the same thing. If you consider that the base of just one number is not a fraction, you can always turn it into a fraction. Here we just have a value for both the numerator and the denominator. The numerator becomes the denominator becomes the numerator, and the exponent goes from being negative to being positive. Then you apply the power of a quotient where the a is distributed to the y and to the x. Let's complete example 3. So we're going to switch places 2 and the 3. So the numerator now is 3, the denominator is 2, to the power of the positive exponent of 4. Now we will distribute the power to the quotient. So it is 3 to the power of 4 over 2 to the power of 4, which is equal to 3 to the power of 4 is 81 over 2 to the power of 4 is 16. (5a). Simplify the following exponential expressions applying the exponent rules, then evaluate. So negative 14 to the power of 0, the negative is not part of the base, therefore we write the negative, and then 14 to the power of 0 is 1. Therefore, the final answer is negative 1. So for b, it's 255 to the power of 3 divided by the same base to the power of 3. So we're going to subtract the exponent. 3 minus 3 is equal to 255 to the power of 0. And anything to the power of 0 other than 0 is equal to 1. C, there is an imaginary over 1. So we're going to flip numerator and denominator. So it now becomes 1 over 5 to the power of 2, which is equal to 1 over 25. D, so we have the 9 over 1 So we can leave it. There's nothing to do with the 9. A to the power of negative 3 now will become the denominator to the power of positive 3. And then b to the power of 8 is a positive exponent, so we leave it where it is. E. 18 divided by 6 is 3. X to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of negative 2 is a quotient with the same base, so we're going to subtract the exponent. 3 minus negative 2 is equal to 3x 3 plus 2, which is equal to 3x to the power of 5. F, so we have coefficients 40 and 5. We have the base of x, we have the base of y, and we have the base of z. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. And then x, 5 minus 5. Y, 7 minus 3. And z, negative 4 minus 2. Now we're going to further simplify it. It becomes 8 x to the power of 0, y to the power of 4, and z to the power of negative 6, which is equal to, so 8 x to the power of 0 is 1. So I'm not going to rewrite the 1 because 8 times 1 is simply 8. Then y to the power of 4 over z to the power of positive 6.